Shu Biao, do you think you're a filial son?
Of course.
If you really think you're filial, then go ahead and rebel.
Huh.
As a time traveler, you were entrusted to teach Shu Biao at the palace. You tried to toughen him up, but ended up telling him to rebel.
What the heck? Rebel? Girl, where did you find this guy? Is his whole plan on sale or something?
Donghua, you just said that as long as he could change Biao's weak personality, you wouldn't hold him accountable for anything he did, right? So now, are you planning to go back on your word?
Girl, let's just see what kind of reasoning he can come up with.
Sir, treason means your entire clan will be executed. Please don't talk nonsense.
But what if I told your highness that if you don't rebel, Empress Ma will pass away before long?
Ha, sister, is something wrong with your health?
It's just a weak stomach and spleen, nothing serious. I think Mr. Bu is just trying to scare Biao.
Cursing my mother like that, aren't you being a bit too bold? Who exactly are you?
I'm not just trying to scare you with these words. Empress Ma has had a chronic illness for a long time, and it actually started because of you and His Majesty. If you don't rebel, Empress Ma won't live for more than 2 years.
Impossible. If my mother really was ill, why would he hide it from me? And how could the imperial physicians not know about it?
Just because I'm sick, does that mean I wouldn't keep it a secret? Then why did you try to drown yourself earlier?
I.
Why don't I explain it for your highness? It's because after you became the crown prince, you've often felt troubled and had nowhere to vent your frustrations. Isn't that right?
Shu Biao lowered his head in silence and didn't argue, so Shabu seized the opportunity and continued speaking.
Your highness feels troubled inside. Are you worried that you won't be able to shoulder the great responsibilities of the Ming dynasty? That you won't be able to live up to your father's expectations or become a wiser ruler? Are you afraid that, like the second emperor of Qin, you might cause the Ming dynasty to collapse after just 2 generations?
Could it be that my mother's illness is just like mine, not caused by something external, but coming from within her own heart?
Sis, this kid sounds pretty convincing. You don't really have some kind of emotional problem, do you?
Zhu Zhengba, how dare you? Are you cursing me or something?
Sis, come on, don't get upset. If you're struggling with something inside, why didn't you tell me?
Tell you? Would it even matter? Ever since you became emperor, have you ever cared about how we, a widow and her orphan, feel? If you hadn't pushed him so hard, would Biao have thrown himself into the river?
Sis, don't be mad. It's not a big deal. Once this guy cures Biao, I won't be emperor anymore. I'll let Biao take over. We'll go back to Fengyang together, back to Haozhou. We'll travel and enjoy the scenery. You can't just leave me behind and go on ahead, okay? Alright, it's not like I'm really dead. As long as Biao's emotional wounds can heal, most of my illness will be gone too. I haven't had enough of being your little sister yet. How could I leave so easily? Yeah, exactly. Ha.
Mr. Bu was right, I really am an unfilial son. Your words are truly enlightening, sir. I hope you can completely cure my mother's emotional wounds.
No need to be so formal, your highness. Matters of the heart are healed with the heart. The root of the problem lies with you. Would your highness be willing to cooperate with me and first heal your own emotional wounds?
You're not going to suggest starting a rebellion again, are you? My father commands nearly 1 million troops. Rebellion is easier said than done. Isn't there any other way?
It seems your highness still isn't willing to tell the truth. Have you really never once thought about rebellion? Not even a little?
Sir, I have nothing but respect for my father. I have never harbored any rebellious thoughts.
Oh. Sister, look, the sons of our Zhu family are brotherly, respectful, uncles and nephews are close, and our family values are strict.
Although Zhu Yuanjiang said that out loud, deep down, a different thought crossed his mind.
If Biao really dared to rebel, what in the future Ming Empire could possibly make him afraid? All those arrogant generals and fierce warriors, wouldn't every single one of them willingly bow their heads and submit to him?
May I ask, your highness, do you still remember what you said half an hour ago when I brought up the idea of you rebelling?
At that time, I think I said, thinking back to how they first met, Zhu Biao couldn't help but feel a bit embarrassed. He had originally thought that Xiao Bu was sent by his father to test him.
Whoa. Your highness, just half an hour ago you firmly refused. But just now you were hesitating. Your rejection wasn't as clear as before.
That's because I was just momentarily distracted after hearing so much from you, sir, so I hesitated a bit. My respect for my father has never changed, and I have never even thought about rebelling.
Then why did your highness unconsciously weigh the pros and cons? If you never had rebellious intentions, why calculate military strength? That's something only someone planning treason would do.
At that moment, Zhu Biao broke out in a cold sweat, and even started to feel like he really had considered rebelling for a split second.
Your highness, you must have many things on your mind that you can't share with others, right? Today, it's just the 2 of us here. Why not open up and talk freely?
Sir.
From what I see, your highness, all your fears and pressures come from your father, the emperor. Am I right?
You truly have keen insight, sir. You saw right through to the root of my troubles. As the crown prince, I should shoulder these burdens, but my father's expectations for me are just too high. I can't live up to them.
Would your highness like to know the true source of your distress?
I would like to hear more. Please, sir, tell me.
Your highness's troubles stem from your fear of His Majesty the Emperor.
Hearing Xiaobu's answer, Zhu Biao seemed to have grasped something, as if a light had suddenly dawned on him.
You are absolutely right, sir. My father's punishments are often too harsh. He has even executed founding ministers and close relatives without mercy, and treats officials as if he were a cruel enforcer. There are so many people who shouldn't have been implicated, but I can't do anything about it. Sir, am I the most useless crown prince ever?
Nonsense. Sister, do you think I'm really that scary? Sure, I've executed quite a few corrupt officials, but I've always treated Biao with all my heart. Have I really failed so badly as a father?
Zhu Yuanzhang believed that everything he did was to pave the way for Zhu Biao, but he never expected that, in his son's eyes, his actions made him look like a tyrant. Zhangba, Biao's words may have hurt you, but you have to believe that he truly respects you in his heart. He will come to understand your good intentions.
Your Highness, your thinking is completely wrong.
May I ask, sir, which part of what I said was wrong?
You said you were afraid because of His Majesty's harsh ways, but that's not the real reason. The real root is that you idolize His Majesty, see him as a god, and worry that you can never be wiser or more virtuous than him. From beginning to end, you've treated him like a deity. When someone is always under the gaze of a god, how could they not feel fear? So how could you possibly dare to rebel?
Ha ha ha, little sister, did you hear that? Biao is afraid of me because he admires me too much.
So it turns out, what I've always feared wasn't father's sword or the crown prince, but that I might not be able to live up to father's expectations. Sir, then what should I do to get rid of this fear?
Of course, rebel.
That's way too extreme. Is that really the only way?
Heh, there are other ways. Crown Prince, do you want to try? You. Come here.
Don't forget to subscribe to DL Toons so you never miss a new hilarious episode.